morning. It's Nancy today. I'll let you look at the snow while I talk to you. So I've been watching the deer this morning. Swallowtail came and ate almost all the bucket. Well, not almost all the bucket, but half the bucket. He was there the whole time. And Plain Jane was very skittish. And finally she came over and she got in between the two of them. I can't remember who Swallowtail was with. If it was Bib, or maybe Swallowtail is Bib. No, I think Bib is the one with the clear eyes, or the ring around the eyes. No, the brown with the big pupil. That's what I meant. Anyway, I've been watching them, and meanwhile Willem was going out to the car and he was shoveling the end of the lane and coming back in and opening the door to his office, and those deer were very aware. One of them who stamped all the well, those three left, right? That was earlier. But these two that were there lately, that was Stamper and Wolf. And my goodness, I don't know the markings about Stamper, but he stamped his foot all the time. Like they stamp their foot waiting for you to move so they can see what you are. But he was quite, he wasn't upset enough to leave. You know, like usually if they sense danger, they're out of there. But he was not going to leave. He was just stamping his feet and circling. Well, he stayed very still for quite a while, but then he circled a bit. Went to the edge of the hill and behind the hammock and then over to the spa, all the while looking and stamping. And the stamping shakes the ground for other deer to hear. Like pretty far away, they can hear the stamp because they have amazing hearing. So it looks like they did plow the road today, but I know, they plowed the road past the township place, right? On our side of the township place where they park their trucks or get their sand, past that it was not plowed, but it's plowed here. It's snow covered. Snow covered to center bare, but it's not even center bare. There's a tiny spot where it is. Really hard to pull myself away and go to church. I was sitting so still while the first group were there and typing the whole time. I can't remember afterwards if I think, okay, I'll just watch and then I'll write it down later. All I can remember is there were 3 deer here and there were lots of things going on amongst them. But so if I type while they're here, I can type what each are doing and my notes about who is what markings are on which one, how much they're eating, and just where they are and what's up, and what alerts them. But I wouldn't remember all that stuff later. So I did film the last 2, Stamper and Wolf. I filmed them for a while. Stamper has lots of fur in his ears, so he and Wolf are kind of like twins, but I think he's a little taller than Wolf, and I know they're all she's, but anyway, I call him he. He's a little taller than Wolf and stamps all the time. Other than that, I couldn't figure out any markings. Not like Plain Jane, who's really plain, but Plain Jane has white circles of fur around her eyes and the white around her nose. It's very pronounced. They've all got that to some extent, but on her, they like really stand out. I find it really interesting to be learning all these things. I'm in there all by myself. Willem's out in the living room doing his thing, usually on his computer or whatever he's doing. So it's kind of a lonely life sitting there, waiting for and watching the deer and writing about them. But it's so fascinating. It's such a wonderful learning experience. And then as we drive along here, I see deer paths over on the side where they were following the road. But I wonder who they are. You know, I wonder how far our deer go. They are on a circuit, right? They don't just lay down and wait beside where you feed them. They go for a long walk every day. But that first one, swallowtail, my goodness, he ate so much. And deer have 4 stomachs, or their stomach is partitioned into 4 parts. And so they have to sit and chew their cud for a certain amount of time. So they'll do that. And when they chew their cud, if you watch carefully, like if you go and watch a cow, the cow will lie down and you can see this lump come quickly up to the mouth. And then after they chew for a while, then you see the lump move down and another lump come up. Very interesting. So I could see the lumps go down as Swallowtail was eating. He was really filling up. He looks bigger than he did before. Maybe because of all this food he's eating.
No, these are she's, right? They're all those, right?
They're all she's.
Yeah.
Even though I say he. He is a generic term.
Okay.
Even though feminism came along and wanted it to no longer be a masculine language. Now it had to be masculine and feminine. He or she ate, and then he or she got up, and then he or she.
And then it became they.
And they?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He or she or he or him or her. It's they or them. I hate them. But anyway, that's what it is.
Oh, they or them?
They or them, yeah.
Well, no, they is pronoun, but them
Like
is
there's
to
a-
them. It's a.
There's this plaque that you had on in a washroom that said,
Oh, yes, we
a
don't.
missionary is one who leaves their family. Now, whose family there? Whose family is that? You know, but it is his or her family.
Does it say his or her family?
No, it says their family.
Oh, is that a problem?
Yeah, I hate it.
You hate it.
It's there is plural. And that should always be plural. Anyway, here I'm raving and ranting here about
Raving. Ranting and raving. Imagine a raver. He doesn't look like he raves.
I suppose it wasn't a rave.
He's a drug-free raver.
Free raver.
Used to be raving had a real meaning, but now it's all changed. Well, I guess it's a real meaning again. Anyway, the language moves with the people, right? Language molds itself to the people. There's a path. These deer paths get there's one over there in the trees. They get very pronounced, especially when the sun is shining on the snow, like right now. It really shows up. Let's see if that's up here. There's some tracks through the. See if there's any tracks coming down here to the road. I don't think so. Not right there. None in that field at all. It's interesting, in the summertime, the deer are all over the fields because that's where the grass grows. Be all over the fields, but now, not so much. Like, not any. They're coming out of the woods and crossing the road. Somebody said that they don't sleep in the same place twice. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Maybe they don't bed down there consecutive nights, but there are places where I usually find deer beds. You know, like up on Deer Meadow. There are deer beds at the end, at the top of Three Birches hillside. There are always have found places where it's mashed down there. Yes, Willem? You had a thought, I could tell. Check out the river, see if it's frozen over. Yes, it is. I always find it's interesting when I fly somewhere. You can see where like if you fly from Europe to Canada, you fly over Iceland and everything is frozen there, and over Newfoundland, and then you get down into Ontario and it's not so frozen. Or if you're going to go and land in New York or Boston or something, or Chicago.
Remember we saw those icebergs? We're flying and it was a clear sunny day off the coast between Greenland and Labrador. With all these tiny, very bright, sparkling spots in the sea. Really nice. Must be the icebergs broken off.
I use my zoomy camera when I'm in an airplane, but it just doesn't do enough. It just makes a mess of it. It's better not even to bother. You have to have a 3000x camera to be able to zoom in on anything. tracks over there. They've really mashed down the hill, the Hilltop Cafe where I feed them. They've really mashed it down. Even last night, there was about half a bucket of feed left last night, and I got up this morning and it was gone. And yet I had stayed up till about 11 to watch. But and then I caught up at 6. Not enough time to sleep. I should take naps in the day so I can be up well better at night. Right, Willem?
You can if you want. Do what you want to, dear.
I can do whatever I want. That's right. But I do have consequences attached. Have to deal with the consequences. So we had a great time at the temple this weekend. It was really nice. Sometimes it's a lot of pressure to work at the temple because you've got to be somewhere all the time. You've got to do this until this time, and then you're off to do that, and you have so many minutes for lunch, and you're very busy. But the temple, when you're there as a patron, you could just lollygag around and relax. It's just so nice there. It's the Lord's house. The furniture is very nice and comfortable. Some of it, in some rooms. Well, I guess I've been rattling on for a long time. This video is going to be too long to upload. What's with that? Anyway, talk to you later. Goodbye.